go. Hey, what's up? I'm Ellie and welcome back to my channel. So, of course, if you've been on BookTube, you've seen that there's a new trend going around where, well, it's not quite new, but it's new-ish in that a lot of more people are doing it. But essentially, it is where you tier rank things. First came out, the website kind of spread around on Twitter and people were just tier ranking popular YA books, and then I did one with Stephen King's books in which they were all on the bottom and the internet didn't like that. It's a joke. I saw recently where some people were doing series, that all the series that they've read. I had also asked if you guys would rather me do that or if I should rank all of my bookish OTPs. And you guys asked for all the series that I've read now. The problem is I have to remember what series that I've read. I figured I should probably just stick to books that I've read, at least 2 books in the series, because I feel like that's going to be a better understanding of the series than just have reading one book. Such English, wow, much talk. I'm going to rank all the series that I have read. So this is already trying to censor me. I tried to make a good shit tier and it was like censoring in the USA. Well, I never. While I'm waiting for this to load, there are 41 things here for me to sort. There probably could have been more if I included things that I've only read the first of, but that didn't feel appropriate. Okay, we're just not gonna work now. There are some that I've read one of and I have decided not to continue, which they're a tier all themselves. And then I decided also to leave out graphic novels because I literally have read like 40 of them on their own, and I was not sorting 80 things today. It wasn't happening, my friend. Let's try this again. I'm just a loser. Try this again. I'm getting real frustrated with your shit. I'm on my 87th attempt to make the damn tier. Why are you like this? I also don't like the fact that I had to use Twitter to log in. Didn't like that. It said that they could follow and unfollow and delete and make tweets all they want, and I don't like that. Okay. First, one up. Okay, well, we have Falling Kingdoms. I love me some Falling Kingdoms. This is hard because it's been a while since I read it, but even when I read it, I was like, this is good. I like it. But it's not like the best series of all time. So, but I really love that series. Oh, I'm gonna put it in good shit for now. For now, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, oh, maybe I should, wait, let's talk about the tiers first. So, worship. I would worship everything about this series. I do worship everything about this series. I've probably written fan fiction about this series. Good shit. Self-explanatory. It was some good shit, okay? Then we have It's Okay. This was probably a good series when I read it, but maybe it was whatever. Hasn't aged well. There's probably going to be a few on here that just, you know, might have been really fun when I read them, but when I look back now, I'm like, probably wouldn't like them now. And then could have never read, because they probably weren't series that I really care about, even then or now. Okay, so Dark Days Club, I will scream about this series for the rest of my life that you guys keep sleeping on it. I worship this series. I love this series. It's one of my all-time favorites. 1800s Demon Hunters. What else do I have to say to get you people to read the series? Okay, The Wrath of the Dawn, I'm sticking with the glory hole cover here. I've been reading the webtoon. I enjoy the webtoon, but I was thinking if I hadn't read the books, this would be kind of boring. And I don't really look back on it and think good things. I definitely got the second one. The second one was very disappointing. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Okay, The Book of Ivy is one of my all-time favorite dystopians. Another one that I feel like got hyped for like one whole week on BookTube and no one ever talked about it again. That's some good shit though. I remember that was some good shit. Shadow and Bone. Do I worship it Or is it just good shit? Do I worship it? I don't know. I don't know. I think I worship it. I think I do. I think I do. I mean, I'm pretty sure I rated all those books 5 stars, and I am a slut for the Darkling. Okay, so Uglies. This was so good when I read it, but I honestly, will it still hold up today? I feel like it would. I feel like this was like this was the idea for the Hunger Games. Like, I feel like this is where it started. I'm gonna put it in It's Okay, because I think that if I reread it today, that it would still be good. I think. Okay, Vicious. You know, this was some good shit. I liked Vicious. I didn't like Vengeful that much, though. It was good, but I didn't... It's okay. It's okay. You know, as much as, like, I really enjoyed those books when I read them, I haven't really thought much about them since. And I kind of forget that they exist. I had to look at my shelves in order to know. Oh, Twilight. I think we already know where this is going to go. This was a book that I absolutely loved when I read. It got me back into reading. Absolutely obsessed at the time. The movies ruined that shit for me. We don't talk about the movies. But honestly, I have been absolutely petrified to reread these because I don't think that they have aged well. Okay, Throne of Glass. This one's going to be really hard because there are a lot of aspects of Throne of Glass that I absolutely love. I love those characters. I love that world. But there's a good many of aspects about it that aren't the best. Like, I think if I reread the first one, I wouldn't have liked it as much now. And I do remember being so absolutely annoyed by, I think it was the third book. Like, I absolutely hated it for some reason. But then I look back on it with very fond memory. I don't understand. So this is a little confusing for me because I absolutely adore these characters. I just love Sarah J. Maas's worlds, but honestly, I only worship the characters. I don't worship the whole series. There's only like a select few that I really love. Okay, Lunar Chronicles. I will die with the Lunar Chronicles. I fucking love that series. I love everything about it. It's fantastic. I need to do a reread, especially, they got the new covers, so I'm really intrigued by that. I need, Netflix to pick up the Lunar Chronicles because I think it would be a fucking hit, okay? The Raven Boys. This one's also hard because I really like the aesthetics of the Raven Boys, and I like a lot of things about it. The overall storyline, though, isn't that impressive to me. The other day, I heard a tree squeak, and I was like, the trees speak Latin, and I was just like, dear God, that's fucking stupid. So I think it's going in good shit. I'm afraid if I reread it today, I wouldn't enjoy it. Okay, Maze Runner. Hasn't aged well on that one, has it? Just old James Dashner just shit on that series himself. Okay, I actually really enjoyed The Maze Runner when I read it, but it was definitely much more of just like an enjoyable read. It wasn't anything like fantastic to me at the time, and honestly, I'd probably just prefer watching the movies at this point. Plus, they got Dylan O'Brien. Okay, I think we all know where Nevernight is going. No, no one had to guess where that one was going. I have a whole damn shelf dedicated to Nevernight. I literally worship that series as is, so Mia is just my goddess. I love her. Well, where... Oh, I thought that was a boob. A whole boob down there. Okay. Anyway, okay. Stalking Jack the Ripper. Since we are ranking series as a whole, I feel like I have to put that in could have never read, because it it just, yeah, it could have never been read because those last two in the series just really, whoo, really took a doozy, you know? Like, the first two were so good. They were so good. If the first two had just been the first two, I probably would have put it in good shit. But then we had those last two books. And those last two books were some bad shit. So, you know, just the experience of the last two overall makes me feel like I should have never just read the series at all. The Sisters Grimm, I absolutely love this series. It's fun. It's good stuff. It's fun stuff, you know? Clockwork Angel. I don't know where I want to put this because that is by far the best ending to a series that I have ever read. But I remember there were parts of it that I was quite bored with. I do think that overall it is the best out of all the Shadowhunter books. It's going in good shit. City of Bones. Honestly, the Mortal Instrument series, I don't think probably has aged well, just because I know that there's things that Cassandra Clare has gone back and, like, had to, you know, clarify, birth control stuff, runes, you know, I'm just gonna go with, it's okay. It's okay. Yikes. City of Ghosts. This series I probably could have not have read. I have enjoyed them for the most part, but honestly they don't stick out to me that much. The Serpent Secret. I love these. These are so much fun. Kiramala and the Seven Kingdoms or something, the Kingdom Beyond. Really great middle grade series. Absolutely adore those. Hunger Games. Here's the thing. I absolutely fucking love those movies. I don't know how I feel about the books. I need to do a reread of the books. I remember really enjoying the books, but you know what? They're probably just gonna go in good shit. Just good shit. I did end up putting Heartstopper in here. I added it before I decided I wasn't doing graphic novels. That's some good shit. I'm just gonna put in good shit because that's some good shit, you know? Obviously, most of these are going to be on the upper end of this because I am including series that I continued on with. So I like them enough to continue on with them. Okay, next we have, I think this is the Wild Magic series. I really enjoyed these. For now, I'm just going to put it in It's Okay. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one wasn't as good as the first one, so I don't know how the third one is going to be. So for now, it will go in It's Okay. Divergent. Probably could have never read. The first one was so good. Like, I had plans with all my friends. We were going out for movies, and I literally was like, all of you can go to the movies without me because I'm going to sit here and read this book. And that is what I did because I was so excited about it. And then the rest of the series, I just wish never happened. In that movie series, I wish never happened. So I probably could have never read it and been okay with life because I'm not okay with how things turned out. The Trials of Apollo. They're okay. They're fun, you know? Same with Percy Jackson, honestly. They're fun, they're okay, but I am not a big Percy Jackson fan. Every Heart a Doorway. You know, this could really go a lot of ways because there are some books in that series that I worship and other books in that series that I'm like, you know, some good shit, but okay, it's going in good shit because I feel like that's a hard series to worship. There's not like a lot of fan art. Each story just delves into a different world every time. So it's hard to worship that series. And it's good shit, but I'm not like always overly impressed with all the worlds. You know? Vampire Academy. This could probably go in two things, but I'm putting it in could have never read because I was obsessed with this series, like to the point where I think I was writing fan fiction about it. This had an OTP that I was gunning for that didn't happen, and I really enjoyed it. It could honestly probably go and hasn't aged well as well, just because I know there's a decent amount of problematic things, and one of the reasons I stopped reading it is because there's something that happens near the end of the series that I really was uncomfortable with and just really despised. It took me like 6 months to read one of the books in it, so I just probably could have gone without all those things happening. If it would have just been a trilogy, I would have been okay, but it wasn't. So Cirque du Freak. One of the best. Definitely some good shit. I love that series so very much. It's not the best. It's definitely got some issues, but it's still just really fun. The Cruel Prince. You know, this is just going in the good shit tier. The good shit tier, because it is good shit. You know, it is. But it's not the best. We all know that that series has been kind of all over the place. I love Carton and Jude, but the storyline itself is not that good. Harry Potter. Do we even have to guess where that goes? It should have its whole tier to itself because of how much I fucking worship that. My whole life is Harry Potter. Okay, The Winner's Curse. I think I might put that in hasn't aged well. I think if I reread that now, I would not like that series because there is that slave-lover dynamic that I'm really not into. And also, I know that there is a memory loss plotline in this, and I absolutely despise memory loss plots. So, yeah, I think that one hasn't aged well for me. I don't think that I don't ever think about that series. When I'm thinking about series that I've enjoyed, I don't tend to think about that one. Next we have Lady Midnight, and, you know, I could have never read that one because I really don't fucking like it. So, we all know how I feel. That whole series has been on my disappointing reads for like 3 years straight, so why do I continue? Because Cassandra Clare, I love your other shit, obviously. Okay, Scythe. That's some good shit. That is some good shit. Neil Shusterman did some things that I just was not expecting. That is who writes that, right? Neil Shusterman writes that. Okay, yeah. I want to look inside his brain because there were so many things happening in that. But I will say he always has, like, he cannot write chemistry between characters to save his life, so. Red Rising. So here's the thing. I haven't actually finished this series, but I low-key worship it. Can I do that? Can I do that? I can, because it's my channel. So yeah, honestly, I think I'm just scared to finish this series because I love my characters. I love the characters in that series so very much, but I still worship that series. The Selection. Honestly, I probably could have never read this and been okay with life. Although now, we have the Netflix series coming for The Selection, but honestly, I just feel like I could have gone through life and not have read that series. It was such a guilty pleasure, and I remember just flying through it, but it's not something that really sticks out in my head. I don't think it's something that I would actively seek out today, so I probably could have been pretty happy never reading them. The Fifth Wave. I gotta say, back in the day, this was my #1 series. This was the series for me. I thought it was absolutely perfect. I probably would have put that I worshipped this series when it came out. However, looking back on it, I honestly don't think that it has aged well for me. I don't think I was looking for problems then, whereas now I'm definitely a little more skeptical about the things that I'm reading. And back then I was just eating it up because it was all that I knew. I hadn't really read anything else. It was one of the only series I had read. So if I reread it today, I don't think I would love it as much. So, yeah, I just think it was just such a new and crazy idea to me then that it stuck out, but I don't think it would have worked. Okay, Dredd Nation, one of my favorites, but it's some good shit. I do know that it has some problems with it. The second one was not as good as the first one, but the first one was so good. Furthermore, I could have never read that shit. Furthermore, and whatever the second one was, Witchwood, were just very unimpressive to me, and I think one of the big things is that it's very obviously Alice in Wonderland inspired, and I think she had come out and said that, like, it was not inspired by Alice in Wonderland at all, but I was just like, literally so many aspects of this are Alice in Wonderland. Like, it's a rip-off of Alice in Wonderland. But anyway, beside the point. Yeah, I just wasn't overall impressed with that. I haven't liked any of Tahara Mafi's writing overall, so it might just be her writing style just doesn't vibe with me. A series of unfortunate events. So, has anyone actually watched the Netflix series? It's kind of slow, and I feel like I remember the books being kind of slow as well, but like you still gotta know what's going on. And, you know, that was some good shit back in the day. But, did it drag on too long? Did too much happen? Was it the same thing? I'm gonna put it in It's Okay. Is this gonna be the one that causes a dilemma in my mind? Like, why? You know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think these last three, we automatically know where they are going. So, I worship that shit. I worship that shit. I worship that shit. So, yeah, this is pretty telling. These are actually, what's weird is that these series that are under worship are actually on a shelf together in my library. So, subconsciously, maybe I did that when I was organizing because I knew that there was some god shit stuff. Court of Thorns and Roses. A Court of Mist and Fury is my all-time favorite book, like, ever. So, it's got to go there. I will say that technically, if we're counting A Court of Frost and Starlight and all that, that this probably wouldn't be a series that I worship. However, A Court of Mist and Fury just makes up for all of that. Six of Crows. Honestly, I could probably move this to good shit because when I read it, I remember there were parts of it that I was pretty unimpressed with. But I found my old fan fiction. Like, I got some crazy fan fiction from Six of Crows, and I was like, man, I'm fucking impressed by myself at how dedicated I was to this story. So, and it's definitely one of those stories that just has stuck, and I love it, and I think about it more and more all the time. So I definitely feel like, you know, it's on my brain a lot. And then To All the Boys I Loved Before, honestly, this series is just my favorite contemporary of all time. I love the Netflix movies. I watch To All the Boys I Loved Before on Netflix at least twice a week still. I'm nuts. So it's just my all-time favorite series. It's definitely up there in like my top 5 ever. It's just so good. I loved it. I loved it so much. So yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. That's the tiers, my friend. Do you disagree? Do you agree with any of these? Are there any that you feel compelled to read now? Let me know. I hope that you guys have like this. Yeah. You don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.